was doing an interview for my book, Stress Reduction for Lymphedema, and the person who was giving the interview asked me this really interesting question. She said, Kathleen, how are the people who take your book and read your book and add these practices to their daily self-care, how are they going to know if it's actually working or not? And the superficial way that you do when you're actually doing research on something is you have a tool, you have an instrument, you have some kind of survey that the people are taking before and then they're taking after the intervention. But honestly, for the people who are doing it in their daily self-care, the two things that I would say is, one, how do you honestly feel? How do you feel when you're adding this self-care practice, whether it's breath work, whether it's yoga or qigong? How do you feel after you're doing it and including it in your routine? How are you dealing with the feelings that come up in your day and the irritating things that come up in your day? How are you dealing in your interpersonal relationships? Do you feel like these stress reduction practices are making you a better family member and a better friend to yourself? And then how do you feel physically? Do they make you feel stronger when you do the exercises that are recommended for your lymphedema? Does the shoulder, if you have arm lymphedema, is the shoulder improving? Are you able to better do your activities of daily living? And then one really interesting thing to also think of is, how do you feel when you haven't been doing that, when you kind of fall off a little bit or your routine's a little different and you're not doing these techniques? Once you don't do them for 2 or 3 weeks, what changes in your life? What changes physically with your body? What changes emotionally with your feelings? And what changes interpersonally with how you come into the world as a friend, as a family member, as a coworker? And those are the things that I think are most important when someone is looking to add stress reduction into their daily practice. How is it improving their daily life? And do they miss it in their daily life when they don't do it for a couple days?